I'm Rochelle Wilhite, the designated broker of Best Choice Realty, and Shannon and Candice to talk about our topic tonight.
Can I just today, Shannon and I started off in just a conversation, and the biggest thing that came to mind based on my conversations with you guys, and my peers as a sales manager, you guys all know I'm not here to manage you, but in our conversations, this is what came. That is like stand for something or stand for nothing. Okay. So we're real estate agents. What do real estate agents do? And so I've had a few conversations and I'm like, what are you doing? What does your daily activities look like? And it's a mixed bag, you guys. It's a mixed bag. So I feel like we've really got to come back and focus on what am I here for? What am I doing this for? Where's my why, right? And how do I perfect myself? Because it's a forever learning process. I don't know it all. I know Shannon doesn't know it all. I know Rochelle will tell you right now, she doesn't know it all. But we're real estate agents. And what does that entail? What item of value are you providing to your clients? Are you just sitting on the sidelines and waiting for them to call you? Are you sending them HomeBot? Are you sending them a newsletter monthly? What item of value are you providing to your clients? I encourage you to ask yourself, when's the last time you reached out to your clients by any means? Whether it's a postcard, it's a mailer, it's maybe you're just sold property. They might need to know that you're still in the real estate business and that you have recently sold on a property, or you just had a new listing. What item of value are you providing to your clients? Uh-oh, you're muted, Shannon.
I think it's more than just I'm a real estate agent and everybody knows, they already know. Sometimes they need to be reminded, and one of the best things you can do is bring something to the table for them. Is that doing a yearly CMA for them and offering them some sort of value? Is that being a resource for them? If they need a roofer, they need I had someone who reached out to me, one of my good friends. He's not a client yet, but he will be. But he's looking for a decking person. I mean, let's provide value for people more than just they already know I'm a real estate agent. There's not really much else I have to do.
Right, exactly. Accountability or mastermind. And this comes up because I think most of you know that there's a couple of different mastermind groups that you can be a part of. We have our East Side group, we have a couple on Zoom, and I'm 100% open to having more. But what are our top producers doing? They are attending masterminds and we're putting our heads together and figuring it out, right? Whether it be with accountability, and that is, a simple check-in, holding each other accountable, writing those goals down and sticking to it. So I will just share with you guys that our most recent not accountability, masterminds, instead of, kind of just going around and fully masterminding, we did mastermind. But what we did was we came up with one thing. What is the one thing that you can do between now and the end of the year and be consistent of and be held accountable for, right? What does accountability mean, right? And so, there's so many great ideas. There's so many different prospecting activities that we can do daily to improve our business. But is there one thing that you can do? Some of the one things were just getting out holiday cards between now and the end of the year, making sure that that's out before the end of the year. Having one client appreciation, right? What item of value are you providing to your clients? One of the top producers said they're going to contact just 10 forever clients a week. That's past clients, but we like to say forever clients, right? 10 past clients or VIP clients a week through the end of the year. That's amazing to pipe up her business for next year. In some cases, it's, you know what, the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of my physical and mental health. And if that's what you want to do, but it's like commit to one thing. Why are you here? What are you doing as a real estate agent? What does that mean? What kind of activities can you do and stay accountable for? So those were just a few ideas. Shannon, did you want to expand on that a little?
Yeah, I think too, when we have goals in mind for ourselves of helping other people, I know something for me that's always helpful is seeing what other people do. What is, I always look at other people and how, what can I do to be more like that person? They come across very polished. I want to be polished myself too. What are they doing? And sometimes having, we provide an excellent opportunity to mastermind with other top agents at Best Choice. If you're not already in one, I would encourage you to be a part of one. But it gives you the ability to see what other people are doing. What's working for them? What's not working for them? If I'm doing something and someone's saying it's not working and I'm not having results either, maybe I need to look at something a little bit differently. Or is there this lead aggregator that says that they're going to give me all these leads? Has somebody else already done it? Is it successful? Is it actually going to be beneficial for my business? Or is it just, is it just a red herring? Is it just something that's going to distract me from something that will actually be very impactful to my business, but then also to my friends and family as well?
Yeah. What is the number one fear that prevents action? Well, it's fear. Fear prevents action. Action precedes fear, right? So I've asked a lot of agents, like, what are you struggling with? I just can't make the phone call. I don't know what to say. Well, we've got tons of scripts and information. I mean, like, I'm here to go over what to say, maybe what not to say, all of the things, but there's this big, I don't want to make the phone call. I don't want to do it. And this is the number one answers because they don't want to be told no. Nobody wants to hear no. But you have to ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario? What do I absolutely have to lose by picking up the phone and reaching out to somebody that I've worked with? Somebody that I maybe just know. I'm a real estate agent. I'm providing a service, right? I'm providing value. What's the harm in picking up the phone to just reach out and connect with somebody? Ask them, is there anything I can do for you? I'm a real estate agent. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yeah.
Right?
And I think be prepared for that item of value. Think about that. What is something that you can offer to someone as a real estate agent? What is the thing that sets you apart or that you can offer to consumers? They don't have access to the same amount of data that we do. They're not in it in terms of coming in for Monday night webinars like this, where we're talking about rates and what's going on in the market. We're tuned in. So what can we offer them? And that is a huge value. That's a huge value. Everybody's biggest asset is the home that they own. And so how can we help them? And if they say no, what you should probably be saying to yourself is not now, maybe in the future. Yeah.
I love that. No means not now, not
Yeah.
now, right? And then I love how you had said, Shannon, it's like, so what's the worst case scenario? But how about we go into it thinking of the best case scenario? The best case scenario, what is the best case scenario? What would that be? Oh my gosh, Candice, I was waiting for your call. Oh my gosh, Candice, I can't believe it. You're thinking about me and I was getting ready to call you. I'm having a baby and we got to get out of this house. Real life scenario.
Yeah. I had a phone call from a very, very close friend. She's my top, probably my star referral. She herself doesn't own a house, but she's in property management. She called me today And I was thinking, kicking myself. I was like, why haven't I called her? But it was
Yeah.
basically this. I've been meaning to call you. I was driving by your house.
Right.
And she picked up the phone and called me. And so I
Yeah.
think about, how many homes have I driven by? How many clients have I driven by? And if I just called them and said, hey, I'm in your neck of the woods. I was thinking about you. How are you?
Right.
Something like that. And I've been meaning to talk to you.
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, it can be very
It's
impactful.
could be that simple. It really can be that simple as, or I just saw this house that made me think of you, or this house just hit the market. This is on your blog.
Yeah.
It'd be probably a good time for me to get you a market analysis or, check on that property, see if it's, get more information. Would you like to go tour it with me? I mean,
Yeah.
anything, anything,
I think
anything.
in some elements, we have to be bold in some respects. Your heart will palpitate a little bit. If it's the first time you've done it, it'll palpitate a little bit. But I know that like all it takes sometimes with some people, if that item of value could be you just thinking of them truly. I had a buyer client of mine. They are now a client, close client. But over a year ago, I sent them a listing. They were renters. I knew that they were renting. They're friends of mine. And I sent them a listing. I said, hey, I'm thinking about you. Would you have any interest in this house? They were
Mm.
renting at the time. I had no idea on how long they had been renting, how long their lease was, but I'm thinking about you. Would you have any
Right.
interest in this house? They ended up wanting to take a look at it, and fast forward, it took a little bit longer for them. They were first-time home buyers, but how impactful for that family to get them into a house that they ordinarily would not have been able to afford. They were able to get in, and they're now building generational wealth for their family. They're first-time home buyers, first generation home buyers. And that is incredible to be able to make that type of difference in someone. But all it took was just, you know what? I'm just going to be bold and just put myself out there a little bit, even though it feels a little bit uncomfortable. I'm offering something of value. I'm offering something that can be very life-changing for someone.
Yeah. No, you definitely have to flip your mentality because we're being of service. Think about those closings, even the ones that you're like, oh my gosh, are we even going to get there? And you get there, right? And it may not have been all peaches and cream, but at the end of the day, you provided a service for your client, your friend, your family member. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, people look at real estate agents in a different site. But at the end of the day, we are providing a service. We are helping them with a huge task, whether it's helping sell or buy. So think about it that way. Flip your mentality and think of the service that you're providing as opposed to feeling like you're begging for something. I'm not begging for anything. I just want to provide my service. I'm a real estate agent.
This is the Candice and I were chit-chatting before we jumped on, and we're going over, well, we've gone over kind of what's preventing me from making the phone call? What's preventing me from taking action? Well, what about clients? What are the clients, what's causing them to hit the pause, or that they think is a barrier to their inaction? And rates, we hear this all the time right now. Oh, the rates are too high for me to make a change, whether that's to buy or to sell. This is the number one objection right now that we are encountering. And Candice, I think you had shared with me a little bit. Do you mind kind of sharing with everybody what you would say to something like this that came across from a friend, a family, whomever?
I mean, it feels like rates are high, but if we look at like the past 20 years, rates are reasonable. They're kind of where they should be. And when we had these 2.5%, 3%, I don't know about you, but I was told that's like a once in a lifetime. It's never been seen, at least, past my great grandmothers, the people that have been able to own homes and my family, that's it. So it's not one of those things where it, we're waiting on rates to go down. Rates are at a good place right now. I mean, they're lower than when I bought my first home 25 years ago. I mean, and if you can afford it now, why not take the jump and be first in line when they do drop to refinance. Why not? Because I
Yeah.
can tell you guys right now, I foresee, and I don't even care who's gonna win the election. I can tell you guys, once it's set in, that inauguration happens January, whatever date in January it is, that following month is gonna be busy because people can like mentally in their mind say, okay, it is what it is. And I've got something to release me from this hook of staying on the fence, right? It's time to go. So it rates, and then when that happens, what's going to happen? I won't say any bad words, but the cat mouse chase. I mean, the will like 2021, 30 homes, 30 clients on one house if rates do go down. But right now they're very reasonable. And we can take a look at it. I mean, I can share information that shows you this is a great time to buy as far as prices are concerned.
Yeah. I had
Share,
another agent that
increase.
was that I was listening to, and she goes, "Why are you concerned about? I don't sell rates," was basically her response. I sell homes, I don't sell rates.
Yep.
So, maybe having that type of mentality too for sellers, let's work with the lender. I understand where you're at. I would be concerned too. Why don't we sit down with a lender and let's do a kind of an assessment. What can we do? Are there other types of loans or things that we can pay off? At the end of the day, you're net positive. If we do XYZ, having a good lender partner can be a good way for you to set yourself up, posture yourself up as a professional, but it also will help that client. They don't know who to connect with. And
Right.
sometimes the rates are not really the barrier that they think they are.
Just the barrier that's
Yeah.
been put in front of us
Yeah. Yep.
to make us do our job, right?
These are some samples that Candice sent to me that some other agents have been doing right now to provide value to their agents. So I'm just going to go ahead and read them. Candice, you can kind of pipe in some of the color in the
Yeah.
lines this for me. But as an agent, we could send some. This is a sample. Zillow's estimate for all your past clients or an area you're targeting. So this is what Zillow thinks this is what your home is worth. I have my own opinion. Let's talk.
You send them a picture of their home, their listing, their property on Zillow. And yeah, so this is what Zillow thinks your home is worth. I have my own opinion. Let's talk. You can
Yeah.
do that with HomeBot. You can do that with our own CRM. You can do that. You can just print out a CMA, just a very basic CMA for your past clients. Shoot them a message. Hey, I sent you something in the mail. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know when you have time to talk.
Yeah. I think too, I was talking with one of our agents. He's traditionally a buyer's agent. He sells a lot of homes, but most of them are buyers. And so I was asking him, I said, we got to get you into the seller game here. How can we get you there? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. So for him, he's like, I have all these closed clients, but I just don't know if they're ready to sell. And I go, well, one of the best things you could do is do something like this. What item of value can you offer these home sellers? So he's been in the market in the industry 6-7 years. If you're kind of in that benchmark where you've been licensed more than 5 years, let's look at your closed clients. Who have you sold homes to? And like Candice was
Right.
saying earlier, who have you contacted? Have you contacted them in the last 6 months and the last year
Right.
even?
Yeah.
And if you haven't, one of the best things you could do is offer them the ability to take a look at a complimentary home valuation. Offer to sit down with them. Hey, have you done any improvements to your house? I want to update your home valuation for you. Check in with them in that way. If you don't do it, someone else will. There are a lot of real estate agents in Washington and in Idaho and Oregon. And if you don't, someone else will be marketing to that client. And so let's stay top of mind. Let's offer them value so they think of you, so that they appreciate you. And then when they think real estate professional, they associate that with you.
And I mean, the big thing that I just kind of in this whole statement here, and just what are you sending? What kind of value are you providing? Um, there was a study done, and it says 58% of agents do not follow up with their clients within 6 months.
Wow.
58 don't do anything within 6 months. If you don't do anything, make it a goal to even just check in with them within 6 months. I mean, it's a great opportunity to pick up, get information that you maybe didn't know, add to your CRM, your database about them. Simple check-in goes a long way. And then you call and you do that, just checking. I just wanted to see how you're doing. Are you still loving your home? And before you know, it's like, yes, we're so grateful for you, Candice. Would you like to come over for dinner? I got invited to dinner and then got a referral of another buyer. It's like,
Yeah, it's the whole, everybody's involved in the process. And once the close of the sale happens, that's not when your services really end in some respects. I know we say that because, that is truly when our fiduciary duty ends, but that's not when the relationship ends. So, continuing that customer service for years, you want to be the real estate agent for life for these people. Average time frame for someone moving, for some of the new agents too that are on the call tonight, they move every 4 to 6 years. That is the average. So, we want to make sure that when they have that sale again, we want to pick them up. We had one of our top agents that he was actually in the process of retiring, and we went through his business for the last 5 years. It was kind of an exercise Rochelle and I had done to see, who basically sold their house, that he sold their house, they bought a house with him, and what percentage of them actually ended up listing with him again.
yeah.
And what was interesting to find is that, 10 to 15% of his home sales where he was representing the buyer, another listing agent came in and swooped him in. So I look at that as, how can I shore up my own marketing strategies for my business so that that does not happen? I've been in situations for myself too, where when I have a friend that uses someone else, and it hurts. And I get it, you guys. I've been there. You all have been there, I'm sure too, where someone used another real estate agent other than you. And for me, my approach has always been, what could I have done differently? How could I have marketed myself differently to that person? And how can I prevent that from happening again? And so if you have that type of approach mentality, maybe we can turn that 10% to 1%. That would be great.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's another sample, Candice, that you wanted to go over. It says, would you sell if? I just read that the annual cost of maintaining a home is 26% higher than 4 years ago. This is why many sellers are cashing in on the equity they've gained recently. I know this is probably a crazy question, but if you got a great offer, would you consider selling? It looks like
It's a simple text.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Simple text message. Would you sell if?
Yeah, and I think this just kind of echoes our previous comments. So I'm going to show another one. So we've talked a little bit about shoring up the gaps in your business. Candice and I were like, well, what are we doing? What are the top real estate agents doing? What are people talking about during the masterminds? And these are the key takeaways. I mean, it's kind of, we talk about going back to the basics of what a real estate agent is, what a real estate agent does, but at a core, we run our own business. We are entrepreneurs as real estate agents. So what can we do as part of that marketing element of our own business? Just like any other business, any other restaurant or plumber or electrician, they have a marketing budget. They have a marketing segment of time that they spend on their business to get more business. So what can we do? These are the fundamentals. So if we're not doing these consistently, then there's not going to be consistent business. So one of the things that, you know, if you haven't considered doing a monthly email or a newsletter, I have one of my friends that sends me a mail, like she sends a mailing update, you know, every 6 months. This is what my family's been up to in the last 6 months. And I was like, nobody sends me mail, you know. So seeing something personal that you've written or you've done or has your name or picture and it goes in their inbox or in their mailbox, really impactful. Um, I'm a big advocate of community events. It's one thing that a lot of my business comes from is just being in front of people. So that could be,
Yes.
and it doesn't need to be an actual event. It could just be in a group of more than 10 people. I've said this for many, many, you know, webinars and things like that. Just try and make an effort of being in front of a group of 5 or more people twice a week. And that will translate to
Right.
business, and make sure they're not real estate people. I love real estate agents, but we're not selling homes to each other most of the time. So community events, that could be join the PTA, go to the PTA meetings. That could be you know, going to the city meetings. I live in a small little town and they do a quarterly meetup that they talk about things that are going on in the city. It's a very, very active little town. Go to, I mean, church can be an excellent community. I know some people are very active in their community there. It could be a nonprofit that you're a part of. I mean, any sort of kind of element, community event that you can be a part of. HOA is a big element as well, that I know some agents are a part of. Find some sort of community. Open houses, if that's
And
not true.
I was gonna say though too, in the community events, there's another piece to it. And I feel like, you know, absolutely there's some things that we're very passionate about. It may be a nonprofit, but don't forget to be intentional. Don't forget to be intentional. If you're going out of your way to break out and do some, you know, volunteering or community events, be intentional.
Yeah.
And remember that you're a real estate agent. And
Yeah.
reverse the mentality, the, you know, like I am here offering a service.
Yeah, and I think
Sorry.
one thing because I know that that's my main source of business, one thing that I always intentionally try and do is I show up the way that I want them to see me. So if I'm showing up kind of raggedy, they're going to associate me as a real estate agent as raggedy. I want to show up as I came prepared. I came, you know, the way that they would want and expect me to be running my business. So if community events are not for you, open houses and door knocking is a great source of business. Um, Implementing a social media plan, taking it offline. So don't be a doom scroller. Don't be just going on Facebook and Instagram just for fun. Actually set the time to do it, you know, and taking it offline as much as you can. Comment on people's things. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram that they just don't get the comments. Comment, you know, be excited for
Right.
people, you know, celebrate
Yeah.
with people and mourn with people, be there with people as much as you can. And taking it offline makes it very personal for them. And then phone
Engaged.
calls and personal messages. I think you had said, Candace, that if those that are making phone calls are the ones that are very busy right now, right?
Oh my goodness. We have an agent who's doing like 100-day challenge, and the last update I saw, she made phone calls, did some door knocking. Well, she's got 3 listings, 3 listing appointments and 3 listings signed. And I don't think I think that it started October 1st, so that's 7 days. So somebody's out there getting business, you guys. Pick up the
Yeah.
phone, make the phone calls, take the listings. You know, we have the listing push, and I think if you've talked to me lately, you've heard me talk about it. And it's definitely challenging. This is not the easiest market that I've ever even been in, for that matter. There's a bit of a tug of war. The nice thing is most of the listings, they will sell. They will sell. Has it slowed down a little bit in some markets? Yeah, it has. Days on market is a little bit higher, right? Are we getting a bit of a pullback from the buyers still? Yeah, absolutely. It's not, I wouldn't say we're in 100% a seller's market. We're also not 100% in a buyer's market. So it's a great time. I even think for those that want to make a move, you know, they want to downsize or upgrade, or they're, need to do something contingent, this is a great market for that. Just remember, pricing is key, and it's not a market where you price high and just fall down, because that fall down becomes the trickle effect that is negative, you guys. It just creates more days on market, and you're fighting to catch up. So if you've got somebody who's wanting to do a contingent deal, now is a great time to do it. Because like I said, come the early spring market, February, March, and April, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I don't think it's going to be the best market for somebody that is trying to sell contingent, because I think all those buyers that have been on the fence, they're going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect. Well, hopefully this was helpful for all of you that are on the call. Very motivational, at least for me, a very good reminder of some of the things that we can be doing to think differently, stay focused on what's most important, and reminder of our value for sure. So thank you, Candice. I think I just want to make sure we didn't have any questions. If you have something, throw it in the chat. I'm just going to run through real quick, make sure we didn't miss anything.
ClientGiant.com is what a lot of our agents are using to stay on top of mind after closing. I think it's $99, and they will mail like great gifts to your clients for a year. It's $99 for each sale. So it's not the least expensive, but that I heard is getting referrals coming in left and right from some of the agents that are doing that. Stacy had an idea.
Yeah, and I'll read it for those, especially for the recording. It says, on our closed listings, we can send out annual letters, greeting cards to the buyers' home anniversaries, it sounds like, of those properties. There's a good chance their agent hasn't been keeping up with them. Oh, I guarantee.
There's a 58% chance.
They sure, yeah. So some of the things I've seen some people do that are meeting them for the key exchange, meet the buyer. I mean, then you literally have a face-to-face connection if that is possible. Leaving an actual gift on the counter for the buyer. I mean, that's also another thing that I've seen some people do. So yes, great ideas. Love it. And Susan, love, no is not now. Yes. Yeah. No means not now. So don't take no for an answer. Just kind of set yourself a follow-up to follow up with them another time.
I have these little calendars with my card, and I leave it on the refrigerator. And the day that they move in, I usually put a little heart and say, welcome home.
Oh, cute.
Because then the new buyer has your information too.
Yeah, it's a simple thing. And we have their address because you sold them their house.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think I can't remember. I think it might have been April I was talking to, where she literally sold the house 3 times because of the good relationships she'd been having with buyers and sellers. She literally has sold the same house 3 times. And that's incredible, but also is a really good testament to how she runs her business, where she knows that house better than anyone at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
Yeah.
I better get adopting some of these buyers, man. Goodness.
Cool. Well, thanks you guys for popping in. You can reach out to us if you have other questions. Rochelle, Candice, Virginia, myself. It's not slowing down. So let's get some houses sold. If you've got a listing that's still sitting on the market, let's reach out. Let's connect. What can we do? Candice, I know, is meeting with people whose listings have been on the market for some time. Let's strategize how we can get those things off the market in a good way. So I know that we can meet with you on those. And then other challenges that are coming up too, inspections are on the rise as well. Let us know how we can help you. This is the time where it's problem solving for sure. So call us so we can
get
kind
to
of
the
help
finish line.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Well, good luck this week, you guys. Hopefully we can see you at some of the trainings this week. If not, we'll catch you on next Monday.